Hi everyone, this is Ashish Dhyani and welcome to InfoSec Train. So today we are going to discuss about an attack which is XML external entities. So when we are talking about XML external entity, what is XML external entity? So for understanding this attack, we have to know what is XML, what is external, and what is external entity, right? So the very first thing is XML. So XML stands for Extensible Markup Language, right? And it is used for storing and transporting the data. So we have heard about HTML, right? Hypertext Markup Language. So it has some tags, right? Like head, body, H1 header, heading tag. So same like that, we have tags in XML as well, right? Now, XML does not have predefined tags like HTML. So the tags, you can give the names which will describe the data. Now, we have the next thing as external entity. So entity is what? When we are talking about entities in XML, it means that it is a way of representing an item within the XML document. So if we are using, let's say, less than and greater than sign. So instead of that, we'll use some entities like and LT and GT, right? So these kinds of things we are using. So they are representing some and other things, right? Representing some characters. So that is XML external entity. Now, whenever we are talking about XML external entity, so it is a vulnerability which that occurs when attacker exploits the processing capability of XML parser. So when we have an XML parser and we are sending the request to the server, so XML parser will only parse the request which are in XML format. So what we do when we are sending the request and we want to include something, some external resource, so for that we will use the system variable in it, right? So if we see this picture, there we can see it's written doc type stock check entity xxe, and there is system variable. So whenever there is system variable, with system variable you can add external entities. Now here what attacker has done, attacker has used an external entity just for finding out the slash etc slash password file to get all the usernames in the target. So that's how we exploit this vulnerability. Now with XXE, why these vulnerabilities arrive, right? So some applications, they use the XML format to transmit data between the browser and the server. And applications which are doing this, they always use a standard library or a platform API to process the XML request, right? And then these vulnerabilities arrive because the XML specification contains lots of dangerous features, and standard parsers they support these features even if they are not normally used by the application. So let's see how we can exploit the vulnerability. So what we have this lab, right? And in this lab, what we can see that there are lots of products for shopping, right? So what I will do here in this lab, I will just click on settings and the manual proxy configuration, right? And I will also start my burp suite, right, for capturing the request. Now, once my burp suite is started, right? So what I will do, I will be performing the attack of XXE, right? So let's say we have this product, right? So I'll put the intercept off for now. And there is a check stock feature, right? So I will intercept this request now, right? So I'll put intercept on and click on check stock, right? So in this check stock feature, I have this post request going, right? Now inside this, we can see XML is starting at it's line number 17, right? So here I can include the external entity. So what I will do, I will write the external entity, and this description of this lab told me that there is a EC2 server running and the IP is 169.254.169.254, right? So I have written that, and then my entity name is XXE, so I'll call that entity name. So I'll write ampersand XXE and semicolon. Now I'll right click it and send it to the repeater. Now from repeater, if I send this request, so it says invalid product ID, right? So that means we have something here, right? So it is showing me a place which is with the name latest. So after this, after the IP address, I will write latest, right? Once I send this request again, so it shows me metadata, right? So it is revealing the directories in front of me. So this attack is doing SSRF with the help of XXE. So server side request forgery is also happening, right? So after that, meta hyphen data. Then I'll send the request again and it shows IAM, right? A new directory. So I'll write IAM. Then again, I'll send the request. So it shows security credentials here, right? So I'll just put security credentials and send the request again. Then it is showing me that there is admin. So I'll go inside the directory of admin and I'm rechecking. So once I'm inside admin, it showed me the secret access key of your EC2 instance, right? So that's how you can perform this lab and get the information about the EC2, right? So we got the key, right? The secret access key. So this was XXE. Now, when we are talking about the mitigation of XXE, so you can disable the entity resolution, right? Input validation you can do, use whitelisted or safe XML parser, which will not support every feature. We can use secure configuration. Then you should keep the software up to date, and there should be a principle of least privileges, right? So you should get only those privileges which are just completing your job role, nothing else, nothing apart from that. So this was about XXE. Thank you so much and take care, stay safe.